WrestleMania, the grandest stage of them all, where legends are crowned, dreams come true, and moments are immortalized. But with 39 WrestleManias in the books and the 40th in just a couple days, how do you separate the epic showdowns from the stinkers? Well, fear not, because we are about to rank the top 10 WrestleMania matches of all time. Welcome back to WWH. My name is Andrew Dreamer, and yes, today's show is another episode of Ranking Rumble. WrestleMania is a global extravaganza, and now coming up on the 40th anniversary of the event, of course there have been a lot of matches, some of them even considered some of the best matches ever. Obviously, it's all subjective, but making the top 10 regardless is no small feat. It's a huge honor, and I love all of these matches. So get ready for some near falls, some spine-tingling storytelling, and enough chair shots to make Mick Foley cringe. Let's get this Ranking Rumble started. Starting us off at number 10 is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat versus Macho Man Randy Savage from WrestleMania 3. The clash between Macho Man and the Dragon for the Intercontinental Championship is considered one of the greatest professional wrestling matches of all time. This wasn't just about brute force, it was a technical spectacle with high-flying maneuvers, reversals that kept the crowd on the edge of their seats, and a grueling pace that pushed both wrestlers to their limits. Their athleticism and storytelling ability showing throughout, they created an emotional roller coaster for the audience who were fully invested in seeing Steamboat dethrone the arrogant champion, which he did. Our number 9 entrant is Bret Hart versus Owen Hart at WrestleMania 10. Brother versus brother. Bret the Hitman Hart clashed with his younger brother Owen in a highly anticipated match. Bret, the established star, constantly overshadowed Owen, leading to simmering resentment. Owen, the quicker and more innovative of the two, craved the respect and recognition that his brother received. The match itself was a technical marvel, showcasing the brothers' incredible in-ring chemistry. They countered each other's moves flawlessly, turning the ring into a human chessboard. The crowd, aware of the real-life dynamic, was deeply invested, their cheers and groans reflecting the emotional toll that the match was taking. In a surprising turn of events, Owen, the underdog, managed to pin Bret with a victory roll. Owen had finally proved himself to his big brother. Despite losing this match, Bret would win the WWF Championship later that night, defeating Yokozuna. By the way, don't miss a single bone-crushing upload. Hit that subscribe button, unleash the horrors, and become a member of the WWH Universe. We're not just wrestling with horror. We're delivering it to your screen every week. Coming in at number 8 is Chris Jericho versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 19. Jericho had spent years honing his craft and idolizing Michaels. This match was a chance for him to prove himself against his hero. The action was fast-paced and intense, with both men pulling out all of the stops. Jericho targeted Michaels' back with limited success, while Michaels countered with his own signature moves, including a near fall after a devastating sweet chin music. The finish came when Jericho attempted a suplex, but Michaels, ever the showman, countered with a lightning-fast roll-up, pinning Jericho for a surprising victory. While Jericho wasn't happy with the loss, some say that he should have known better than to try and outfox a man named the Showstopper. And when I say Jericho wasn't happy with the loss, I mean he kicked Michaels right in the Heartbreak Kids after the match, setting up a continuation of their feud. We're continuing along at number 7 with Gunther versus Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania 39. Gunther's reign as the dominant Intercontinental Champion faced its biggest threat at WrestleMania 39. In a chaotic triple threat match, he was forced to defend his title against the two hard-hitting veterans, Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. The match was a brutal affair filled with earth-shattering chops, bone-jarring forearms, and near falls that had the crowd on the edge of their seats. McIntyre and Sheamus, both known for their relentless brawling styles, joined forces momentarily to try and take down Gunther. However, the ring general proved to be a powerhouse, weathering their offense and dishing out punishment of his own. The match reached a fever pitch when all three superstars traded devastating finishers, leaving everyone wondering who would walk away as the champion. Of course, it would be Gunther who walked away victorious, still holding the title going into this year's event. Number 6 in this ranking rumble is Bret Hart versus Steve Austin at WrestleMania 13. The Hitman and the Texas Rattlesnake collided in a brutal no disqualification submission match. Their rivalry had been simmering for months, fueled by Austin's brash attitude and Hart's status as the established champion. With UFC fighter and wrestler Ken Shamrock as the special guest referee, the match became a chaotic brawl. The action spilled outside the ring with weapons and steel steps coming into play. Both men fought vigorously, determined to make their opponents submit. Hart focused on a technical wrestling style while Austin relied on his brawling style. The iconic image of the match came when Bret Hart locked in the sharpshooter, but Austin, refusing to give up, bled profusely before finally passing out. That image is something we've all seen a million times and it never gets any less iconic. Though controversial, the match became a defining moment in professional wrestling. It has also been called the beginning of the Attitude Era and helped to solidify Stone Cold Steve Austin as a megastar. We're officially halfway through this Rumble, but we've got some bangers still to come, so let's just keep the show rolling. Coming in at number 5 is Edge versus Mick Foley at WrestleMania 22. The hardcore legend yearned for a defining moment on the grandest stage. Across the ring stood Edge, a rising star with a point to prove. This wasn't just a match, it was a brutal dance between veteran and somewhat newcomer, a clash of experience and hunger, all set within the chaotic freedom of a hardcore match. Barbed wire, flaming table, and sheer disregard for their bodies became the weapons of choice. They brawled through the crowd, pummeled each other with unforgiving objects, and took sickening bumps that pushed the limits of human endurance. In the end, victory and redemption would be earned, but for both men, this brutal night at WrestleMania would forever be etched into their memories.
Oh my God, what's gonna happen? Oh my God!
This victory cemented Edge's place as a main event star and showed Foley's enduring legacy of putting his body on the line for spectacle. Our number 4 entrant is Austin vs. Rock at WrestleMania 17. It was a clash of titans as Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock battled for the WWF Championship. The anticipation was electric, but things got even wilder when a no disqualification stipulation was thrown in at the last minute. The ensuing brawl was legendary. They fought outside the ring, used steel chairs, and both were left bloodied. The Rock used Austin's signature Stone Cold Stunner, and Austin even used the Rock Bottom. The crowd roared with every near fall as these two icons pushed each other to the limit. This wasn't just a championship match, it was truly a grudge match that had been in the making for years, and the fight definitely lived up to the hype. Austin would come out victorious and turn heel in the process, making a deal with the devil. And boy, does that name fit. Austin's heel turn ended up backfiring in a major way, but this match was phenomenal. Number 3 is The Undertaker versus Triple H at WrestleMania 28. The two legends collided in a brutal Hell in a Cell match at WrestleMania 28, billed as the end of an era. This hard-hitting showdown wasn't just about victory, it was about vengeance and legacy. The Undertaker sought payback after his match with Triple H the previous year left him unable to leave the ring under his own power. Shawn Michaels served as the special guest referee here, adding another layer of intrigue to this match. The violence was barbaric, with steel steps, chairs, and even Triple H's signature sledgehammer coming into play. Both men showed incredible resilience, kicking out of each other's finishers. The match perfectly captured the desperation and brutality of a grudge match between two legends. Ultimately, The Undertaker prevailed, pinning Triple H after a tombstone piledriver, keeping the streak intact. This brutal contest cemented its place as a classic WrestleMania moment, a fitting end to a storied rivalry. And that final shot of the three men standing at the top of the ramp was just perfect. Coming in at number 2 is TLC from WrestleMania 17. That's right, 2 matches from this event made my top 10 matches list, which is a testament to how good that show was and why it's my favorite. Go check out that video. It was a night of high-flying action, and no match captured that spirit more than the TLC 2 encounter. The Dudley Boys, the reigning champions, Edge and Christian, and the fan favorites, the Hardy Boys, clashed in a brutal yet awe-inspiring display of athleticism. Tables, ladders, and chairs became both weapons and platforms for daring maneuvers. Bodies soared through the air, narrowly missing splintering wood, and crashed through tables in spectacular displays of punishment. I think this match would have made Pinhead very happy. The match wasn't just about violence, though. It was about strategy and taking calculated risks to reach the gold hanging high above the ring. It was a spectacle that redefined hardcore wrestling and cemented TLC matches as a cornerstone of WWE. You had interference, spears off of 20-foot ladders, swantons off the ladders. It was everything that you could possibly want. Alright, it's almost time to announce the final entrant in this ranking rumble, but before we do that, we have to take a quick break, so stick around for more WWH action. If you're looking to save 20% off of your order from Redcon 1, I have a deal for you. Just type in code AndrewDreamer12 when you're checking out and you will immediately receive 20% off. Head over to ProWrestlingTees.com/AndrewDreamer to check out some of my merchandise. And last but not least, head over to Patreon to consider becoming a member of the WWH Universe. We've got some cool perks over there and we would love to have you join. If you've paid attention to my channel, you probably already know what the final entrant is going to be, but let's unveil it anyway. The number one entrant in this ranking rumble is Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels from WrestleMania 25. What can I say? It's my favorite match of all time. This match was a clash of titans. The Undertaker, the Phenom with the streak stretching back years, faced Michaels, Mr. WrestleMania himself, known for his show-stopping performances on the Grandest stage. The stakes couldn't have been higher. Michaels aimed to shatter The Undertaker's mystique and end his dominance, while The Undertaker fought to preserve his legacy. The match itself was a spectacle. Both wrestlers threw everything they had at each other, trading signature moves like Sweet Chin Music and the Tombstone Piledriver with near falls that left every single person stunned. The atmosphere crackled with anticipation, with fans torn between their loyalty to the Dead Man and their admiration for the Heartbreak Kid. It was a brutal ballet, a testament to their in-ring ability and storytelling prowess that had the entire arena, and I'm sure everyone backstage as well, in awe. God, I love this match. It sounds cliche, but it really is an emotional roller coaster, especially when Taker nearly broke his neck.
Wait a minute, look at this! Oh my God!
This match truly exemplifies what WrestleMania is all about, the showcase of immortals. So there you have it. Undertaker and Shawn Michaels are the champions of this ranking rumble. And that is going to wrap up this episode. Let me know what is your favorite WrestleMania match of all time. Heck, leave me a list. Leave me your top 10. WrestleMania is in just a couple days now. Once we get past that, I'll be switching back over to horror for a little while and then finding a balance between the two, which I haven't been very good at so far. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you've enjoyed this look at WrestleMania's best matches. And remember, in the squared circle of horror, there's no count out for nightmares. My name is Andrew Dreamer, and this is Wrestling with Horror.